Okay, hi guys. So I tried doing this earlier and I did do it, but I guess it wasn't meant for anybody to see because it will not upload, even if I like cut it in half. So sorry about the shaking camera. I'll try not to touch the table. But I wanted to show you, look at this is my cauldron cup. My girlfriend Trish gave us two. One for me and one for Grant. Pretty nice, eh? Thanks, Trish. Love it. Anyway. Okay, so I'm just gonna shuffle for March 2nd daily message. I just want 2 cards. Sometimes 3 come out, but I don't. This chaotic energy with this eclipse coming is making me feel kind of like, right? So, just 2, right? Just 2, please. Just 2 for today. Okay, right. There's one there. Oh, the Death card. That's nice. Okay, and then we have the 5 of Cups. Ooh, all right. So, now this card here is, or this deck, sorry, this deck is the Wild Unknown. So when you get a deck of cards, like with tarot, there's always 78, they're the same cards. Like they might call something, you know, the Father of Swords instead of the King of Swords, like in this deck, for example. But it doesn't change the general theme, right? That underlying theme of the card is always the same, but different decks will put different twists on things. So I do like to have the book handy. But the Death card is about transformation, right? It's not a physical, literal death. It's the death of something. In order for a new beginnings, something has to end, right? Like, you know, oftentimes, like when they say, oh, well, you know, one door closes and a window opens, right? It's that kind of idea. So letting go of things that don't serve you, that aren't healthy for you, whatever, opens up energy for, you know, the energy to flow and for new things to come in. So we will read about Death card. 5 of Cups, if I remember, is somebody who's sitting and not feeling satisfied. So like there's a dissatisfaction and a discontentment around that. And traditionally, I think it's about like you could have 5 cups and 2 or 3 of them are spilled, but 2 are full. But you're only going to be focusing on the ones that have spilled on the ground, right? And not seeing what there actually is there. So we're going to take a little look in this guidebook here and see what that has for us, and then put it together. All right. So, Death card. Okay, 13 Death. So no one loves the sight of the Death card in a reading. Well, I do. I like it. We spend most of our lives denying death altogether. So when this card appears, it's easy to get frightened or think that it's bad. I'm actually going to hold the card up so you have something to look at while I am reading, right? Don't let the drama distract you from the message. Something in your life needs to end. What did I say? Did not say that? Believe I did. It needs closure. This will happen voluntarily or involuntarily. So it's happening, right? Either way, you'll feel a positive transformation begin after initial forms of suffering have passed. So this might not be fun. It might be awful, and like, not awful, but it could be awful, yeah, for you, you know. And don't ever compare your stuff to anybody else, because you can't compare one person's, you know, suffering to another's, because it's really the impact that something has on us that gives it the value or devalue, right? So don't get into that. Oh, well, it could be worse. Yeah, I mean, it could be, but how do you feel, right? So honor your place and where you're at with all your stuff. Yeah, so it's coming, or it's like faded, right? Like you can't deny change. Like you can't deny that time marches on, right? You can't stop getting older. You can't stop the seasons from coming and going, and the cycle of life, right? And so in that cycle of life, there's death and rebirth, right? So that's where you're at right now. And this can be a really beautiful thing, and it is going to be beautiful and be positive for you after it is said and done. Now, it may not be uncomfortable. It just kind of depends how open you are and where you're at. So let's see how this 5 of Cups impacts that, okay? Doodly-doo, right? Noodles of Cups. Okay. Oh, the 5 of Cups indicates a time of sorrow. Well, this is a lovely I'm so sorry. What a shitty message. No, it's not bad. it just flows with how today's been going. So it indicates a time of sorrow. A relationship may fall apart, or an old friend might slip away. There will be disappointment and even regret. When this card appears, it's important not to make hasty decisions, and it might be helpful to look at the expectations you place on others. Yeah, perhaps they can never do enough to please you. Ooh. So that's a big thing. So that's the change. The change is in a relationship or a friendship. I think it's I wonder if death can even mean something like, something could be evolved, could be slipping away or ending, but something could also be evolving, right? So one aspect of it dying, but then growing and being nurtured into something else. So it might not be the end of. It could be like, if you're being told, like, what are the expectations that you put on other people, and can they ever please you? Like, are you constantly dissatisfied, or like, well, he bought me flowers, but they weren't roses, they were tulips, and you know what I mean? Like, he bought you flowers, like, duh, or whatever, like things like that. So, or, maybe somebody they're not showing up for you in the way that you want them to, but it isn't always about what you want, it's about what they're able to do. And are you recognizing that in other people, or are you just very centered on self? So maybe there needs to be a little bit of death in, with ego, with self, with expectation around other people. And I'm not saying that you're a bad person or doing anything wrong, but I think if there's a relationship that's important to you, or a friendship that you want to salvage, you may look at that transformation within that. So that's a death and rebirth, right? So it's change. I think, or maybe it's just time. Maybe there's something that, maybe the expectation you have on other people is actually very low, and it doesn't honor who you are, and you're not being treated properly, and you're not being honored, and it's a one-sided thing. That could also be the case. So I feel like it's time for you to do some, some introspection, right? Don't make decisions right now. Don't be hasty. Just, take some time. Take a look at things and how they are and how you're feeling, and think about where you're at with stuff, right? And, how do you value yourself? How do you value other people? What are expectations? Where are you at with those things in your life? And if there's something that you're kind of hesitant about or unsure about at this time, really take some time and think about the message here, which is, it's okay to let go and to move forward. And sometimes you need to move forward into your own strength, or sometimes you need to move forward into your own humility. So boundaries are important for you and for others, and I think it's good to just take some time. That's what I'm feeling this message is kind of about. Not kind of, but entirely about. So let me know what you think. If this resonates for anybody, that's cool. If not, that's fine too. Oh, it's all wiggly. Oh God, I'm gonna drop this camera. Listen, I'm gonna just take my cauldron cup and go drink some coffee. I think I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna post some, like, choose a crystal or something today, because man, like, this energy with this eclipse is insane. I don't know.